Welcome, a Marty G sensation. Introduce you to A Taste of Life.
Marty, we're rolling.
I'm not finished my sandwich. Why didn't somebody warn me? What, Errico?
Marty,
What?
come on,
What?
right
What?
here.
Marty,
What?
Marty.
Look, let me just finish this. Can't we start a little bit later? This is ridiculous.
Who's this down?
Errico, for goodness sake. This is crazy.
Clean him
You
up.
didn't give me any... Oh, no. Did I get it on my jacket? I want to look so good.
Marty, please.
Marty, this is a taste of life, not a taste of your sandwich. Let's go.
A taste of life. A taste of life. Marty G sensations. As I swallow... I am so happy to be here. We have our new podcast, and we are so excited. I got a great group of people. I got Alex.
Thank you.
And Errico.
Hi.
Sorry. As he
Swallow.
choked to death on
Very
his
good.
opening scene. I am just delighted to be here. I have had an amazing past from radio to TV to almost a year ago, thinking that my life was over, going on dialysis. And about a month ago, my friend Moses, my dear friend Moses, I had to pay him to say that. He's not such a good friend. He's an all right friend. My dear friend Moses said to me, "You are live." And all of a sudden, we did an article for a magazine called Waterfront Magazine, reaching 100,000 people. We met Karim, excuse me. And I am just delighted to be here. I'm so excited about the future. And I want to thank Alex and Errico.
Thank you, Marty.
For making dreams come true, and dreams do come true.
That's right. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
Our first podcast today, and I'm Alex Ray. I'm from Homegrown Hydroponics. Marty and I go way back.
You were a little boy when I met you.
That's right. And I'm happy to be here. We're going to get started with this podcast. It's going to be a lot of different things. We want to talk about all the things that make a taste of life. We have Errico, that's an expert at cooking all things Italian. And of course, I'm
best.
delicious. The sandwich was really great, and of course, I come from the cannabis community, the cannabis industry. Helping people learn to grow and to get access to the medical program. So we're just pulling all these different things together, and we're really happy to be sharing the space with Marty. Of course, you mentioned that you weren't coming from such a positive place, and now here we are together. Really pulling us all together. Let us know, where did you come from and what was that like?
It's still hard to talk about, but I came from having to be on dialysis and in denial. And finally I got so sick and lost 70 pounds, and they put me in the hospital, and that night I had dialysis. And I was just so sick, and about 2 weeks ago, my doctor said to me, I said, "I'm doing great." And she said, "I need to tell you something." She said, "You were going to die." Nobody ever wants to face their life and say that it's going to end. But I realized that I'm alive and I'm well. And what I did before is with the TV shows and the radio shows, and people loved it. So I've regained life. I feel like I'm alive again. And I just... last week we went to Camp Dorset, which is for people with dialysis. And I walked in, and I was the only one in a walker. And I said, "We're not going to stay." And the nurse said, "Stay for one visit." And I did. And I realized that, it's an amazing place. She canceled my appointments at Toronto General, so I had to stay at this camp. But can you imagine a camp for people with dialysis with a full clinic, all built by the Lions Club? So thank you guys for believing in me, and thank you, God, for letting me feel alive again. Because
That's right.
I didn't want to die.
You're not dead yet.
I'm not dead yet.
You were quite a bit alive in the past. Like you're coming from a huge background. You were like a TV show, and a radio show for so many years. Which
Porno star.
So when I met Marty, my name is Errico Giordano, and I'm from Second Wave, the cooking show. by Marty G, by the way. And when I met Marty, was like was a goodbye party for a friend of us, a friend of mine that was going to study in Europe. And here there is this guy sitting on a chair talking about food and talking about Italian food. And I say, okay, I have to say something to this guy. And we just get in a huge fight regarding tomato sauce, how to make it, how to don't make it. The conversation goes to me going to call my grandmother back in Italy in that second and say, so tell me the truth, what were you doing with your tomato sauce? And that's how it started. And they say, you have a great personality, let's do something together. And that's how I met Marty, like a huge personality. Then he went through what he went through, and they explained it like through the dialysis and the health issue that he had. But we were always next to him, because we know the kind of person that he is. I grew up in Italy. I moved here not too long ago, and all my background has to do with the food industry and art, like combined together. And when I met Marty, I say, "Oh my gosh, this is the great opportunity for me that I come from another country and start my new life here in Canada." And having this guy just believing in me and say, "Hey, you know what? We can do something together." And here we are. He explained me the project, he introduced me to Alex, and he was telling me about cooking with the cannabis, and I say, you know what? Why not? All the health that is coming, from the use of the cannabis, and he was claiming the CBD enzyme and all the knowledge that Alex was just. Introduced me to, and I say, you know what? That's the right way to do it. Italian food, cannabis. I love that. Let's see what's gonna happen.
That's right. So much to learn, so much to explore. We're gonna have a lot of fun in these next couple of weeks, learning and doing. We really want to learn how to bring cannabis as a positive into people's lives. There's a lot of stigma, there's a lot of misinformation. We're trying to break apart all that. Yeah. Let's have some fun. Let's learn. Let's eat good food. Exactly. Let's have good friends.
There is still a huge taboo about it, right? People still say, "Oh my gosh, no. If I gotta tell that to my mother, that she's gonna freak out, right?" But there is so much more.
That's right.
To learn.
But with good information, with a positive outlook, we can really explain the proper ways to use cannabis in your life, and what not to do as well. There's always a right and wrong. So, this is going to be a lot of fun exploring together. So
wow,
it's going to be crazy. Very crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I mean, it's amazing that you guys are here, and the past that we've had together. And the funny thing is, I met your mother before I met you. And you were this little kid that used to come to the parties and everything. So imagine how everything has evolved. And I said to Errico, I promise you one day we're going to do something together.
The tomato sauce. The right
tomato sauce.
The right tomato sauce.
The tomato sauce with the sugar. Come on.
No sugar inside. No sugar.
So I'm looking forward to the future, guys.
Excellent.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.